Welcome back to the channel. Today's title is pretty self-explanatory. Uh, Depart from me, I never knew you. The Narcissist Day of Reckoning. So many of you guys have heard this passage before that I'm going to go over, but it pertains, of course, to everybody. You, me, everyone on earth, and especially the narcissist. And I'm going to discuss why that is. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. This is in Matthew 7:21 to 23. I'm going to try to put it up here on the screen so you can see it. Here's what Jesus said, and this is pertaining to the day of judgment. This is pertaining to the last day, Jesus' return, when everybody stands before God's tribunal. This is what he says. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and do many mighty works in your name? And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. This passage has been, I think, misunderstood by a lot of people throughout time. What's really going on here? Who are these people that he's talking about here? What kind of people are these? But I think honestly, if you just carefully read the passage itself, it's pretty obvious who this is. So notice a few things. These individuals came to him. This is maybe the most important part. They claimed his name. They claimed him as Lord. They knew him as Lord. They didn't think of him as some normal person. They claimed him by name, Lord. And they also claimed, and the text seems to suggest that they indeed were doing these things. These people were prophesying throughout their lives, at least at times. They had cast out demons. They had done mighty works. Now, you might think to yourself, well, no, clearly they actually weren't doing those things. No, I think the text is very much suggesting that they were doing these things in the name of the Lord. If you look in other parts of Scripture, there are many times where a false person, a bad person, even a person of the devil, does mighty works. Pharaoh's magicians were able to keep pace with some of the things that God was doing in the 10 plagues to demonstrate to the Egyptians and Pharaoh specifically that he was Lord, that he was God, that he was going to take his people back. They were keeping pace, performing some of those miracles. There are prophets of Baal that do miraculous things in the Old Testament. There are definitely examples of individuals because remember, the devil has power too. They were doing these things by satanic power, and it's not like they were able to live up to it. There's a point in which the magicians of Pharaoh couldn't keep up anymore, and the prophets of Baal couldn't keep up. And there are lots of places where that is the case. But it's not suggesting they weren't really doing these things. And it's not suggesting either that they didn't actually think Jesus was Lord. We read elsewhere, even the demons believe, they know who he is, but they shudder. They seize up. There's another time Jesus comes to a certain town and he meets some demon possessed people, or in one situation, a man. And the demons actually see him from afar, or they know he's coming, and they say, Lord. I don't know if they say Lord. Let me be clear. They know it's Jesus. I forget exactly the term they say, but they did say, have you come to destroy us before the appointed time? So they recognize who he is. They understand Jesus is Lord. They know it. The people here, they believe he's Lord. And so here's what's more, though. They actually think that they're good people. They come to Jesus on the last day at his return as if they're going to chum up to him. Hey, Lord, Lord, it's me. It's me. Remember me? It's Matt. It's James. It's Sarah. Whatever name you want to insert in there. You know, it's me. We know each other. Imagine the terror when they come to realize, no, they didn't. They might have thought they did, and that's the key. That is the key. These people in this passage, and he says, on that day, many, not few, many, meaning the vast majority. Like when Jesus says, many are called, but few are chosen. That means most of the world. The many people, not the few. Just like when he says that the path to salvation is a narrow one. The path to destruction, the path to life is narrow. The path to destruction is very, very broad. Most people are on there. He says few will find the path to salvation. The many will find the broad path. Are you understanding in all these cases? Brian, are you saying most people aren't going to be saved? It's exactly what I'm saying. And it's not me who said it. It's Jesus numerous times over and over and over and over actually. And here's one of those cases. So the many will come and say, Lord, Lord, and when we prophesied and we cast out demons and we did mighty works, it's your boy, it's me. And he will say, no, I never knew you. Matter of fact, depart from me. We weren't close. Whatever you thought it wasn't that. I'm making the call. I'm telling you, I never knew you. I never called you by name. You were not one of my sheep. You were not in my fold. And he goes a step further, though, because what does he actually say? Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. Meaning, for all the things that they were doing in the Lord's name, they were doing a lot of things against his will. He says, only the one who does the will of the Father who is in heaven will enter the kingdom of heaven. These people were not doing the will of the Father. They were doing works of lawlessness. They may have been doing good things, but they were doing a lot of bad things. They didn't know him. They weren't living in him. Their lives were mixed. It was shoddy. Some good, some real bad, some good, some real bad. Simplest way to put it is they were fake. They believed they knew him. They really thought they knew him. And that's the scariest part of this. And that's a gut check for every one of us, to be sure. Don't get me wrong. It applies to everybody. Do you really know him? Does he know you? Are you in him? Because there's a lot of things involved in that. Keeping his commandments, doing the will of the Father, not living a sinful life. It's not okay to do good things and then a bunch of bad and good and bad, because it doesn't work that way. It doesn't just balance out. But these were workers of lawlessness. Just like we have the man of lawlessness in 2 Thessalonians 2, of rebellion, of disobedience. These people, maybe the best way to say it is, they lived a double life. Who's that sound like? Does that sound familiar to anybody? They lived a double life. On the one hand, they did the works that made it look like they were followers of the Lord. They were good people. And on the other hand, they lived this life behind the scenes that nobody saw except, well, the Lord saw it, didn't he? Because when they came to him on the last day and said, I know you. I'm your guy. We're close. We're tight. He said, I never knew you. Depart, go away. Into outer darkness you go, you workers of lawlessness. So, what does this have to do with the narcissist? This applies to everybody and everything, don't get me wrong, but the narcissist particularly. I've said this many times, and I still understand that people disagree with me. I know there are people who think the narcissist views the world the same way we do. They think of everything just the way we do. They sit back and they calculate every single thing they do. It's just very, very, very calculated. I'm going to do evil. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be corrupt. I'm choosing to do the wicked. I'm choosing. But what you're not understanding is that they don't see the world the way we do. The narcissist is not sitting back with a clear mind and a good, clear conscience and evaluating the right and the wrong and everything and saying, I'm just going to choose to do evil every single thing I ever do. That's not how this works. In fact, it's very inverted. In fact, they live in delusion. And the degree to delusion, it varies. Do you understand? That's what the term delusion means. You're not living in reality. And the worse the narcissist gets, the more delusional, the more detached from reality they become. I know people don't want to hear that because we have a very vested interest in thinking, well, the narcissist just meant to do every evil, wicked thing they ever do. It was so methodically planned out. And as I've said 1,000 times, don't hear me telling you they don't scheme. They don't plan and plot evil things. They do those things. But as a person does those things, they become more wicked and more corrupt and more delusional, and they gaslight themselves into thinking things that aren't the truth. So that what ends up happening is their corrupt being, their corrupt actions just become them. They become dark. So what comes out of a dark person? Evil things. It flows from their very nature the more dark they become. And my point of it is this: the narcissist does think they're good people. Do they all think that? No. But I'm telling you, most of them think they're good people. I have heard many narcissists tell me stories about how they helped this person on the side of the road. They brought in cake and cookies and they catered in for everybody at work. They took their companion and got them new tires. They did these great things. This person couldn't pay for it, so I just told the person, the clerk, just put it on my tab. They do these good things, right? And they believe that because they do these good things, that makes them good people. Do you remember this? Lord, didn't we prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do mighty works in your name? Do you get where I'm going with this? They thought by virtue of the fact that they were doing good things at times for people, that they were good people. It doesn't work that way. The narcissist lives a double life. These people in the passage lived a double life because Jesus said, "Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness." Their hearts weren't in the right place. They were doing things, and this gets to another point. As many good things as the narcissist does, and as many things as these people were doing, their motives were off. Their hearts were darkened. They did them for the wrong reasons, the good things they did do. It was about self-interest. It was about, look at me. It was about, even when they come to him, what do they come? They don't come lowly before the king, do they? And say, Lord, I'm at your service. I love this verse. I have this as a motto for certain things. We are unworthy servants. We have only done what was our duty. It's what Jesus said about those who truly know him. If you have the right heart condition, you would never come to the Lord and say, I cast out demons and I prophesied and I did. Look at my resume. You would come to the king and say, hey, you worked through my life. I just did whatever I could for you, and I hope it was worthy. I hope that you command me. What would you have me to do? I can never make up what you did for me. What would you have me to do? You don't come with a laundry list of all your accomplishments. They did because their heart was off and their motives were off. The narcissist is the same way. Everything they do that is good, it is faux good. It is for their own benefit. It is to toot their own horn. It's to make them feel like good people, and they do feel like good people. This is the thing you got to understand. This is why when you're dealing with them, you're not dealing with a normal, healthy individual. And you're definitely not dealing with a person of the light. They live their lives actually gaslighting themselves and the world into believing that they're genuinely, authentically good people because I can do some good things. Remember when I took you on that trip? Remember when I bought you tires? Remember when I did this for you? Remember when I did that for you? What then was their motive? Their motive was to be able to say, look what I did for you. It was for, even that was for their own benefit. It was so they could make themselves feel good. That's why oftentimes, if you were with a narcissist and out of nowhere they did something really wonderful, really spectacular for you, they did it for the purpose of making themselves feel better because of something evil they did. I'm telling you, that's how it works with them. On the day of reckoning, the narcissist is going to be the many narcissists, the many of them, they're going to be the people that come to the Lord and they're going to say, all right, here we go. Like, look what all I did. We know each other. We're good. And he's going to say, you see, I knew every secret thing. I know what you did. Good. I know what you think you did and what you think you are and what you think you have here, but I know the secret things. I know the things the rest of the world didn't see, most of the world. I know who you were behind closed doors. I knew who you are in your heart and in your innermost self. And that's when it collapses for the narcissist. That is when the terror sets in, the shriek of horror. Because can you imagine being one of those people that go and meet the Lord at the end and you actually thought you knew him? You thought you were saved. And he says, no, you never were. I never knew you. That is the most terrifying thing there is. I don't think there's a scarier prospect because then they were found out. In that moment, they analyze themselves and they see the fakeness and they know they're going to be cast out. That's where the narcissist is heading. This is why I feel sorry for them. This is why I don't gloat about how bad their lives are. I describe it, but I don't take pleasure in it. Their lives are horrible now, and they're going to be really bad when they meet the king and they try to tout their own accomplishments, and their own accomplishments don't save them because they lived a double life. So this is what's going to be for them. This is the narcissist day of reckoning. This is, as Jesus said, the day of reckoning for the many. So I want to leave you with this. If you're living a double life, if you're hiding sin, and we all deal with things, we all go through it, we all have our battles, we have an enemy, we have a carnal nature that we contend with. That's what's got to be purified. That's why we got to become a new creation. If you're living a life of habitual sin, if you're hiding things and you think it's going to be fine and you think it's going to be glossed over, please reconsider. Am I saying you better live a perfect life? No. What I'm saying is you better be on the right trajectory. Your heart better be in it for the right reasons. You better be relying upon the Lord, upon the King, rather than coming to tout your accomplishments. We are unworthy servants. We've only done what was our duty. No matter what it is we do, we're always going to be unworthy servants that by the grace of the King we're allowed into the kingdom. But it also shows you in this passage, your works, your evil works will condemn you. If you're living a secret life, yes, we know the narcissist is. We know it. And we know they're going to get what they have, and that's terrifying. We need to make sure the cup is clean. We need to make sure we are living a life of really do the work. Really ask yourself, is the way I'm living, Is that acceptable? Am I good so that when I meet the Lord, I don't have to come and try to tout my accomplishments. He's just going to come up to me, put his arm around me, and say, I knew you. Come on. The kingdom awaits. Let's go to the wedding feast. Let's go together. He'll raise us up to meet him in the air when he returns, not some secret rapture junk. At the second coming, when he comes back, those in him are raised up, raised back to life, or raised up if they're living, and they meet the Lord in the air, and he will say, let's go. I knew you. I knew you, and I knew all of you. And then there'll be those other people who come and say, oh, I did too. And he'll go, sorry. No, 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 I didn't know you. Let's live a life worthy of being raised up on the last day, caught up to meet the Lord, return with him in his glory in his kingdom, and found worthy in the eyes of the Lord. Because we didn't live a double life. We knew him, he knew us, we lived for him, we had the right heart condition. Let's go there bravely so that we look forward to his coming, because we know we can lay everything on the table. We know he already knows everything, and we're good with the way we're living in him because we know we're doing things to the best of our ability. So, guys, I hope you found this message interesting, hopefully challenging. We all just need to be aware of the way we're living, not in some paranoid way. I'm not saying be paranoid and, oh my gosh, I screwed up. Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. Where's your heart condition? Are you a truth seeker? Are you sincerely living for him? Are you doing the best you can to make the king proud? That's what I'm saying. Come at you guys here with another one soon. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I am so far. Appreciate everybody watching this. Till next time, God bless.